to the early Ottomans and before the beginning of the empire. The Ottomans are named after their first ruler, Osman. Osman Ghazi. Ghazi is the name given to only Muslims, also known as a holy warrior, aka just fighting for Allah. That's the definition. Was from a nomadic tribe called the Kaya tribes, who were displaced after a Mongol invasion of the Seljuk Empire. The motivation for Osman Ghazi to expand the Kaya territory was for Islam primarily and to stop the constant moving, but that constant moving was a minor problem. Osman Ghazi was made Bey of the Kaya tribe, and for the last 26 years of his life, Osman and his son Orhan went conquering. By Osman Ghazi's death in 1326, his son Orhan became the Bey of the Ottomans and finished his father's work, becoming Busra and making it the capital of the empire. But at this time it is called a Beylik, until Murad I conquers Adrianople. And makes it and calls himself Sultan. Orhan dies and Murad I begins his rule. Murad I was the Ottoman ruler. Was the Ottoman under the rule of Murad I in the 1360s. The Ottoman Beylik became an empire. In order to do this, he needed to finish his father's work by creating a full-standing military, which he called the Janissaries. He took this force and conquered Adrianople, this time renamed Urdin, and declared the Ottomans an empire. Bayezid I, also known as the Lightning Bolt, was nicknamed this because he moved his forces from Anatolia and conquered further cities, then moved his forces back to the Balkans and expanding more Ottoman territory. And overall, he was very quick. This came to an end at the Battle of Ankahala, where the Mongol Ilkhanate, led by Timur before he started his own empire, outmaneuvered the Ottomans and beat Bayezid and captured him, but Bayezid stayed in captivity until he died. We don't know how Bayezid was treated while he was captive. His death led to a civil war because he didn't choose an heir of the empire, and also he was captured before he could do it. Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, because he captured Constantinople. Mehmed's early reign was a tad bit confusing. His father Murad II stepped down in 1444 from Mehmed II, but him being too young, he stepped down again. So Murad II came back in 1451. Murad had died, and Mehmed II had become default ruler. During the siege of Constantinople, Mehmed's army uses Ottoman super cannon, a very big and heavy cannon that had to be moved by 8 people. After the siege, he made Constantinople the capital of the empire, not Urdin, and as it has been since Murad I's reign. Constantinople stayed the capital until the very end of the empire in 1918.